Awesome.
Can you hear the background?
Yeah.
That's okay. Okay. Sorry, just give me a couple of seconds.
Live on Facebook.
Down the left wing, Vainikolo. Vainikolo running forward, and Tonga will get the early score.
What a great try by Tonga based on the chip kick. One bounce, and the winger was away. The U.S. will be very disappointed in their defense. A couple of missed tackles. It's down between the sticks. Ball. Great rugby try. U.S. defense were up very tight. The U.S. has to be
with his second. He started the scoring back in the 5th minute, and he crosses the line again.
Right here. That's nice.
And
Well-
Bill is here just in time.
Well, this goes here, and let's just welcome our guest tonight. Fetu'u Vainikolo. He's a rugby player, rugby union player that's currently playing wing for the Utah Warriors right now. He was born in Tonga, moved to New Zealand at age 12 in 1987. He went through the rugby age group level in Oakland before moving on to the Wellsford Club in Northland in 2007. So he made his debut in 2007 Air New Zealand Cup, scoring 5 tries in just 10 matches to earn himself a Super Rugby contract. Awesome. He repeated the feat with another 5 tries in 2008. Vainikolo stood out as an offensive weapon as a wing. Vainikolo was selected to the Tongan 2011 World Cup squad on August 8th and made his test debut on 13th of August 2011 against Fiji in a 2012 loss. His second appearance came 1 week later with the starting place in the Tonga 32-20 win against Fiji. So, in which he scored his first try for Tonga. He's currently the top scorer for the Tongan national team. Vainikolo now resides in Utah and playing for the Utah Warrior. So we want to welcome you, Fetu'u, to our Tongan pro athletes of today and yesterday. We are honored to have you here, just to have a conversation with you and see where you're at today and what made you move on to the rugby world. So welcome. Just come on in and introduce yourself and just let us know how are you doing today.
Malay.
Malay. What's up?
Go ahead.
Hello,
I'll ask
Fetu'u.
the first question. We were talking earlier about you moving out here to Utah to playing in the with the Warriors here. I was asking you, what do you think about the rugby here in America? You think is that the league is gonna do something, or the league is that popular? It's gonna go, or is that gonna fail because of American football?
Right now it's looking good because it's a big difference from the first time that we started this from back in 2018 till now. There's more team and it's more popular now out here.
Okay.
But the good thing about rugby is like there's always other ways to, because it's not only here in America, it's everywhere, Europe, New Zealand, Australia. So you have other options to go up and other places to go and try to.
Right. It's not just here in America, but it's all over the world. Rugby is all over
Yes.
the world, you said earlier. And you said and football, American football is just here in the United States. So but we were talking about the even like the kids that doesn't make the NFL. They're still young enough to be able to learn rugby. Because I think they're already, like we talked earlier, I think they're already an athlete, they're already athletes. The talent is there. They just have to learn the system and learn how to play rugby. Would you?
If I may,
Yeah.
out here in Utah, especially at BYU, there's been a few missionaries that has come from New Zealand and Australia. Paul Asike went on, I think, to play for the Chicago Bears and another team. But he made the transition of coming and playing with the. Were you there when Lasike was there at Fetu'u?
Oh yes.
So he's one of those that that made the transition from rugby to football, and then back to rugby after college. To get to your point.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think it would take for some of these kids that don't make the NFL for them to maybe transfer their talent into playing rugby? Because they're still 22, 23 coming out of college.
Yeah.
And they still have time to do it. What do you think would be a process for them to transfer to playing rugby?
Man, it's easy. It's an easy job. It's just it's who you learn from is the
Okay.
that's the main thing about learning rugby is, because a lot of people out there think they know rugby and they talk about rugby like they know.
Yes.
Right.
But the problem about here, my experience out here at the States, they just jump straight to the fancy stuff, eh? Like the stuff that they see on TV, just a little offload and chip kick and stuff. Then when you're trying to get them to do the basic, just the simple pass, left and right, most of these players can't do it.
Yeah.
That's the key focus about rugby, because all the favorite players that they see on TV, they all had to go through the learning about the basic catch, pass. They gotta master that first before they go into the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, that's my experience here in Utah. People just jump straight to the fancy stuff and without learning the basic of rugby. But with what were you saying about young NFL, young players that don't make the NFL or hasn't made the cut, it's just easy for them to. It's just a simple thing. You just teach them they got the strength, the fitness, huh?
Right.
You just teach them the
basic
of rugby.
Because I think here's my take on that is these kids coming out of college, they're so spoiled being in college, because a lot of these athletes are well taken care of, even in college. They get everything they want. I mean, they get everything. And then for them to have to start over again, I think that's the thing with them. Because they're so focused on the NFL, they didn't make the NFL, then all of a sudden that dream is shut down and they can't relate to going to playing rugby. But I think there's a big market there for these kids to move on to playing rugby. Like you said, it's starting out here in the United States, and it's bigger outside of the United States.
Yes.
And you can still make good money playing rugby. If you're good enough, you can make some good money out of it.
You know, a few things plays into that, Tim. I think, you know, with I forgot what it's called, you know, like the minor leagues in baseball, but right. I think the leagues have started with the NFL. Well, you know, with the people who doesn't make the NFL. They also have the Canadian League. Yeah. But to me, I don't know. It's just a take from my take on speaking to some of these guys that didn't make the NFL. I think pride plays into it.
Yeah.
They kind of look down at it.
Yes.
But to me, you know, it's a big move. It's not just an easy transition where you're just gonna, you know, go from the top to the top. You know, you're gonna have to grind it, like what Fetu'u was saying. You have to learn the fundamentals of rugby and the basic things, you know, to be able to be a superstar like they were in football. In rugby. I mean, the transition, it's a long process, but some of them are willing to take it and some of them not, you know. You know, it's the same thing, you know, like Michael Haynes or whatever tried to come to football. He was at the very top of rugby. I guess, I think he was the top scorer at that time. But when he came here, I mean, he was just a nobody.
Mediocre.
Yeah, just mediocre. And like I said, pride starts playing into it. You know, and this is why I always push, you know, like our coaches, our Tongan coaches, that they have to make it, because the people behind them, their success is going to depend on, you know, like Takalani Sitake, and now Maile. I mean, if these guys don't make it, the people behind them is going to play that mind game. Should I try it or should I not? But, you know, things like that, you know, the mind game is going to have to be put to the side, and along with their little pride.
Yeah.
Put it to the side and look forward to the future, like Fetu'u. I mean, this is a man, he was a superstar in Tonga.
Yeah.
And for him to come and play, I'm not downplaying Fetu'u. By no means am I downplaying the Utah Browns. I'm here in Utah myself. I grew up here. And I love this. My nephew, Holo, came and played with you, I think. You know, there's guys out there that's grinding and trying to make it. But like you were saying, there's so many athletes in the college that don't make the NFL, but they don't want to come and try it. I mean, to me, if our teams, our American team would just pick more Uri and Polynesians, we'd be up there with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. I forgot his name, Lyles or something like that. The wing for, and that Parker or what.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
for the
these
Steelers,
two, once they're gone, I mean, make that little move and they're out there, nobody's catching them. And that's the kind of speed that the NFL or the college players develop. And they can bring that to rugby, but they don't. Sorry for but
No, it's all right.
go ahead and chime in on that if you can.
No, the good thing about them coming off and trying to learn rugby, as coaches, they only want to focus. They make their job easier, right? They only focus on their skills level because they already got the strength, they already got the fitness level.
Yes, right.
So they don't need to worry about their side of their game. So they just focus on their skills and their rugby IQ.
Right.
And then other than that, they just little top up on the side for their fitness and strength wise. But because most us polys, my experience with the polys is we got the talent, but we just don't want to go through the hard yard by fitness wise.
Yep.
We just want to play. You put us on the field, we play. Like we come to play, to do the fitness, like running and stuff. We'd be the first one out.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, though. I think you hit. I think you hit on the thing there about us being so talented.
Yeah.
That all we want is to play the game day. We'll show up for game day.
Mm-hmm.
But for them not realizing you have to work out, you have to train for that day. That's why we have training for a whole week before we play the game on Saturday or Sunday, because you need the endurance. You need the endurance to play, because you don't want that monkey. You don't want that monkey to jump on your back, before the game. When that monkey jump on your back, winning is out the door, because you can't breathe, you can't run, and there's playing the game. You don't want to play the game anymore because you're winded. So,
to piggyback on this, Tim Manoa here. He's the second player to play in the NFL. But before him and Vai made the league, there was a stigma. Just like what you said, the Tongans were lazy. They have so much talent, but they're lazy to make it. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tim. And that's what carried it. It was on in the league for a while until these two stuck it out and made it, which opened the door for all the athletes of today in the NFL. But that, to what you're saying, it's very true, because people get in there and they get lazy. And it takes me back to when Iverson, practice. What is practice? What's so important about that? I mean, that's the thing that his belief or his philosophy of life. But here in the real world, like rugby and football, you have to practice. You have to put in the grind to be able to make it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. if I may, Tim,
Go ahead.
Fetu'u Vainikolo, Fokipe, introduce yourself. Eh? I'm pretty sure the people, like me, I asked Hano, is he from Kolowai? Yeah? And Hano said, no, you're from uptown. Eh? Because Vainikolo is in Kolowai. Eh? I grew up knowing some Vainikolos in Kolowai.
Yeah.
So but that's why I asked. And so please introduce yourself and maybe you'll bring yourself to the bat station. Huh?
Oh, ko hinga ko Fetu'u Vainikolo ko lele me halal ko fai me halal ko tamai me matahau ko yo logo ilo ke fai ko tamai na
Oh,
tu be
sorry
fai
about
me
that.
fai ko fai ka ko mau ko halanga hu ku tongen ko mau o ha me ai.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I get there a lot from because I run into the real one. Leslie Vainikolo is. They always compare me to Leslie Vainikolo. See, they always ask me for related, but I think he's from the Vava'u Vainikolo from the Vava'u in Maufanga.
Oh, okay.
Kago awe go have me halanga ho. Pigi ko ku ka senta na vanga Australia ko tenyo halanga ko face na fata he team Australia.
Wow.
Kago
So you come from a talented family, eh?
Yeah.
Regardless.
oh,
So when you moved to New Zealand in 1987 or
no 96.
96?
Wow.
Yeah, 96. You moved to New Zealand and you started playing rugby at the age of how old were you starting playing?
Oh, rugby was always around me, but I was never interested in rugby.
Okay.
Because back in Halalo, I was at my grandma's house. We used to have a field in front of the house. So that's back in Tonga, every evening, everybody get around it there and we play touch. But I was never the person that got involved. I was just on the side watching everybody play.
Uh-huh.
Then when we moved to New Zealand, it was a funny story there, how I started to play rugby. It was in high school. So every day after school, I had to come home early, do all the work at home. They was put me into work. So one day I just decided to play rugby, follow my mates. So I don't have to come home early and do all the work. So,
Right.
so the training will be every Tuesday, Thursday, and I go, oh man, that's only 2 days. So I just like, decided to go play rugby league. So I take Monday, Tuesday, play Wednesday, then training Thursday for rugby union. Then Friday I'll be home. Saturday I'll be out. But the only problem on Saturday there, I have to the game for the high school rugby is in the morning. Finish around noon, so it's still too early for me to go home. So I decided to play club rugby league.
Hmm.
So I follow my cousin around and end up playing for a team called Bay Roscoe over in New Zealand. So my love for the sports grew then, and also my surrounding. There are tons of good players around me. I was never talented. I never had the skills, but I had to work for it because just on my surrounding, they're much better than me, and I just wanted to be like them or have the same skill level that they have.
Right.
Well, that's what they say, man. If you want to, like I said, if you want to be rich, hang around the guy that makes a lot of money, so you know what to do. So it's the same thing, you know. If you want to be, if you want to be good in sports, hang around the guys that are out there doing it. So, so you got out of it. You went to play rugby because you didn't want to go home and do your chores.
Yes, correct.
So it worked out.
It seemed like you were busy, practicing every day, so you didn't have to worry about any fitness in that, huh?
Yeah, it was every day. The only day off was Sunday, so
Yeah, you can't get away from that one. You got to go home.
Yeah.
You got to go to school.
Gotta go to church.
I know Carlo here has something to say, huh? She looks like she wants to chime in on this.
And I don't know how you do it, Tim. You're like Bill, like you're a mind reader or something. Special power. Actually, I don't really have a question, but I was just really interested in what you were saying, where you were from. I know Leslie Vainikolo. You know, he's. I was wondering if you were. I knew where he was from, but I wasn't too sure whether you were the same one, because you know there's different Vainikolos. So I feel, gentlemen, that maybe we should you know, make Fetu'u a Vai or something, you know, because he's from Halalalo. You know, there's a Ha'ayakau Tuikanokpolu. Junior Vai or something, but you know, and that's a common story amongst young athletes. They talk about when they grow up, they want to get out of chores and stuff, and you know, we're natural athletes, and we're naturally you know, talented, but we do lack a little bit of the skills that you learn later on with the IQ of sports that we take. But I just thought it was funny, Fetu'u, because I was thinking you were going to talk a little bit more, because those are the really funny stories. Because you know, there's many little boys like you were that are probably watching on their own little phones or sharing a tablet or something. I go to Tonga often, and you know, they're literally playing in bare feet, and you know, trying to find something to do to avoid chores, and they're running around. They don't have a ball. They've got a shoe. They're wrapping a vala or something around it to pass and stuff. It's just, they're great stories. So you know, maybe if I had a question, you know, maybe what would you like to say to the same little Fetu'us that are out there playing and aspiring to become a star like you one day?
It's all about you can't rely on anyone to push you. You gotta do it yourself, and don't listen to nobody that you can't do stuff. Go find out yourself. Like if they tell you can't run, how you gonna just go out there and give it a go?
Yeah.
You can run, then you go ahead and run.
Right.
A lot of people be doubting me. Some of my mates be laughing at me, and my old mates back from school. Back at school, we still catch up now and then and laugh about the good old days. How most of the time we just, like, it's all about, people say you're surrounding us within you with what you want out of and you gotta do it for the love of the game, not just because of the money. Money gonna come after. If you do it for the money, you're doing it for the wrong reason, because you won't have the heart to do it or the courage to go through it. Man, it's hard. It's hard work getting there.
Yeah.
But
No, that's a great point,
No,
Carlo.
yeah, Peter.
Yeah. Me and Hano spoke maybe last week, Hano, that I saw a cousin of mine running a little team in Fetu'u. Yeah? Anyway, half of these kids, I think 3 or 4 of them had shoes. The rest of the kids, you know, just running with no shoes. But, you know, I can see where Fetu'u is what Fetu'u is talking about. The grind and the love for the game. Because these kids are just playing. They have no idea probably about what's going on in New Zealand and all that. And that's the pure thing of our kids in Tonga, is that they can freely choose the game and play it the way they want, instead of, trying to emulate somebody. But, as me and Hano was talking, and Hano was there, where are they running it? I said, well, I think they're right across Lahai's house. Little did I know, that's Hano's home. That's his land that these kids are playing at. And I said, yeah, they're playing right, but anyway, big shout out to my brother, Paki. He's out there with somebody who used to play for Tonga in the Tonga League team. But they're out there getting the kids to play. And I guess Kolowai's got their own team going. And I'm saying, man, what happened with just Hifo, Everybody's getting their own little team. But it's good. It's just like we growing up here. We're getting our little league teams going. Every little town has a little league team, and then we get together and play against one another. But Fetu'u, I wanted to ask you about your transition. I mean, like I said, I am not downplaying the Browns, but man, you represented Tonga.
Warriors.
You represented Tonga. You ran for Tonga, and then you came to the Warriors. I'm sorry. To the Utah Warriors. Are they the Warriors?
Yeah, the Utah Warriors, yeah.
Oh, okay. But anyway, how does it feel? Is the platforms the same, or is it different?
Oh, it's different. For me, it's got back to, just as long as I get to play rugby, I'm happy. And no matter what level you play it. Just for me, just as long as I play rugby, it's like it's a happy place for me.
It's the love of the game.
I went through a lot of my life, and rugby saved me, to be honest. And when I step on the field, or even at training, everything outside just disappeared, and I'm just finding rugby a happy place for me, and I also owe the game big time, because it saved me. It got me out of
trouble.
Yeah. I wasn't a trouble kid back then, but it just got me for following my mates and friends that were no good back then. But
Is that why you're so fast? Because you're
jumping all the fences and that.
You are running
away from that fire.
And I guess that's also the difference, Fetu'u, is when you don't just play the sports, but you also have the love for it, and it becomes something really personal that's embedded in you. Those people also tend to give to the sport later when they retire, but also they tend to, they don't favor just the prem level, or they don't just go to senior levels. They play and engage in any kind of level of that sport. So absolutely, mo'onia pito ho lau, You got 3 girls. What think have they developed any love for the game, or?
Oh yes,
they play?
The older one, he's more into rugby than anyone of the kids. My little one's just a newborn, but the older one is he's been around the game all her life. So
right.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, did you get any chance to sort of look up and play for the Tongan girls, or?
Oh, there's a club out here, Majestic Girls Rugby Team. She's involved with that one, but ever since the COVID hit us, that just the mom told her to stay home.
Yeah,
Hello.
I do know the Tongan team. They were deficit a couple of players from the United States and also from Tonga. So they were a little bit hard done by with the last Pacific game that they had, the qualifying reportage game. But I'll definitely, I'm glad you mentioned that. I'll definitely start stalking your daughter.
She's gonna
No,
represent
no,
USA.
no, Carlo, you can't have her. She's
No, I'm gonna drag her over to
she's gonna
Tonga.
be representing the USA. So, Vainikolo, Carlo here is affiliated with our Tongan teams. Eh?
Oh, thank you, Carlo.
So that's what she's trying to recruit. So just tell her that no, she's a USA product right now. Huh?
Just remind your daughter that, you know, serving Tonga is a labor of love.
Go ahead, Carlo. Hit him with that one.
I'll stop on the dad only.
And that's the one thing that she for sure not gonna come to Tonga.
just tell her to earn earn the bucks there first and then come and whakato la'a ki Tonga.
Her mom told her focus in school first before sports.
Smart. Yeah.
Very good.
So, Fetu'u, let me ask you a question. Now, with all the Tongans playing rugby, you know, all over the world, so is that a goal for most of them to play for Tonga in the union when they start playing? Is that a goal for them? I take it that a lot of them wants to play for their own country, for Tonga. So is that a goal for them to, if they get picked to play for Tonga?
Just from my experience, if you're from New Zealand, your number one team is the All Blacks.
Okay.
If you're in Australia, your number one team is Australia. When I grew up playing in New Zealand, I never thought I was good enough to play for Tonga or the All Blacks. I was just, back in, when I first made the play for Northland after the end of the season, it was the 2007 World Cup. Yeah. The coach for Tonga rang me, asked me if I want to play for Tonga, but then I was never ready. I was never ready back then. I wasn't ready. I told myself that I wasn't ready. So I told the coach straight up that I wasn't ready to step up to that, because World Cup is massive. Yeah. Everybody's watching.
Yes.
If you ain't ready, you're gonna get found out. So even though I was playing for Northland back then at that level, but I wasn't ready. I know within me I wasn't ready for that big step. That was a big, massive step for me. So I told him straight up, I wasn't ready. I'm not ready to go out there. The World Cup is a big step for me, so I can't go. And I didn't know I was gonna make the Super Rugby, the Highlanders back then. I was just, when they named the squad, I was in Singapore playing 7 for the Tongan Barbarians. Like, a coach that took me up to Northland, coached me a Wasper named Adrian Ferris, texted me, "Hey, Concrete, you made the Highlanders." I was like, "No, I didn't."
Oh wow!
Like, oh yeah, you gotta come back if you. I landed in New Zealand on Friday, I think. Then the next morning, all the rookies have to go Wellington for a big for a meeting. All the rookies, they send you to Wellington and all the meeting there with the New Zealand Rugby, just to go through what you need to look out for, or how to look after your teammate if your teammate's in trouble, how to avoid all of that dramas, and how to look after yourself and the public eye. After that, then they just transfer you to whatever team they pick you. Then that was, wow. I seriously didn't realize that didn't know that I had a chance to play on the super up in that level. So it was, but Tonga was always calling me, sending me email, but I was never ready because I was still learning the game myself too. if you don't come up throughout the system in New Zealand, then you'll just get left behind. For me, my surroundings and with the Super Rugby, everybody came up through the system. The New Zealand school, they come up the New Zealand 18, 20.
Mm-hmm.
But me, I had to catch up with everybody around me. I was so far behind, and my flatmate back then, Dan Bowden, he used to play number 10 for the Blues and the Crusaders. I learned more off him because he was just he was on the next level with his IQ.
With his game, huh?
Yeah, with his game. I was like, it got me by surprise that how much I had to learn to be up there, to stay up there in that level, the Super Rugby level. On my first year, I was just, he has to sit me down and go, man, you got to learn the moves. This is what we need to do as a back, and this is where you need to be if they call this. He break it down for me. I was grateful with Dan Bowden for doing that all for me. He didn't have to,
Right.
but he took the time to help me through it. But yeah, it's whoever you like, the Australian players, they all look forward to play for Australia. And the New Zealand players, they all look forward to play for the All Blacks. But
Sure.
our people in Tonga, they all look forward to play for the Ikale.
Okay.
But I was just happy, and I was just blessed to get another chance to play, to represent our country in 2011. And I loved it ever since then. And I just can't say no to the country whenever they call on me.
Oh.
If I'm not injured, I'm saying yes, sir.
Did you know, Fetu'u, you're a prime example of I guess the saying is, let your actions speak for itself, you know? Your humility, I mean, I'm over here shocked, you know? If there's a guy that I would like my kids to emulate, it would be someone like you. You know, here's the coaches calling and telling you, hey, you're ready to come out. And you're over there, I don't think I'm ready. Eh? But you know what? Your actions is what the coaches saw. You know what I mean? They felt that you were ready. And that's why they called you. Eh? But here you are, you know, with your humility, you're just playing yourself down, like, I'm not ready. You know, because I'm pretty sure the mind game of failure. You didn't want to fail. You didn't want to go up there and fail. You know, those are the little things that people think about before they make that big jump. But here's the coaches, like I said, they're calling you and saying, hey, congratulations, go up there. And you're over there saying, no, I'm not ready. But the thing is, when you stepped on the field, I read some things about you, that you were the high scorer for Talanoa and all of this. I mean, shoot, who does that? Who does that? I mean, to go up to a national team and make an impact like you did, you know, and then you're saying, hey, I'm not ready. Let me ready myself. I'll let you know when I'm ready. That is, to me, as pure as someone could get, as an athlete can get. Where you're playing your game and you're thinking you're not good enough, like you said, these are your words, and yet the coaches felt that you were ready. So they rang you or they called you. And here I am starting to talk like Carlo here. But anyway, you know, man, I have to give you a big shout out for this.
Yeah.
I had no idea that you were gonna be like this. Man, I love this. And my question comes with that, if I may, Tim and Talanoa. You know, when I ran a post maybe 3 years ago about, this is what I said, our players in Tonga has the talent, but the game of where they want to go to they're not used to do that speed, that power yet. You know what I mean? I mean, they have the talent, they have the power. It's just making that transition, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be there. You got to be here. Like yesterday, you have to be there. You know what I mean? And I was ridiculed by a lot of people saying, "Tuko si lalo." And I said, man, by no means am I si lalo into our Tongan players. But in reality, there is a difference in speed and in power, just like what you said. Chime in on that and let me hear what you have to say about that.
We just on that. We got the power. We got the speed. We got the skills and the talent. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Resources.
The downfall with us Tongan, that we never train the mental side of it. Huh?
Right.
They only train us. They only want to see us. Remember how we grew up in Tonga? When I grew up in Tonga, they only want to see people
Hard
run
hits,
over people
Yep.
or hit people.
Yep.
But they never train you. That's the only difference between us Tongans and the professional world.
The mentality of
the
things.
mentality, the
Yep.
mental side of it.
Right.
So technique.
Because we come to with the skills. We up there with the skills, the strength.
Right.
We up there.
Right.
Every team out there, they want a strong Tongan in their side, but when they come to the mental side of it,
Discipline.
we're down. We're way behind everybody.
Right.
That's go back to how you said that Kolovai's got a rugby team. I follow the Tongan club team, the comp that just finished. I enjoy it, love it, because the rugby's upgraded in Tonga. One of my buddies here that he's a big fan of Fue. Play for the Fue. I used to play for Lavenga Maria back in New Zealand, but then when we sit back and watch the game, follow the game, watch them live, it's a big improvement back then, because when I went back to Tonga, all they do is fight.
Yeah.
If they hit us, if the tackle go around your mouth, you stop the rugby, you drop the ball and go ahead and fight.
Right.
He was the bigger guy, but they forgot about in the game to play rugby. It's a big, when I watched the game a couple months ago, and I love it. I enjoy it. Me I used to be one of them. I used to be a little kid that watched the adult play rugby. All they do is, the first thing come to mind is fight. So they come home and talk about how they had a massive scrap on the field, just for a good old story after at a fight gava, or just hang around in the village at the Wharekoloa back then.
But not about the game, right?
Yeah, no, but the game is what
not
they
about
did.
the game, but it's about the fight.
Yeah, it's about the fight.
Like they're more satisfied with a big hit than a win, huh?
Right.
Oh hell yeah! Back then the cover, when you're at the kalapu, you gotta have something to talk about. So you gotta make it happen before you go.
But I think they just gotta wrap their brains around.
Yeah.
Talking in the Faikaba about a win is a lot better than talking about a big hit. You know what I mean?
Oh hell yeah! Tell me about
I mean, there's a big difference. Talking about a big hit, and then, so who won? Oh, they won, but we hit them.
We won the fight.
It's a big thing. And like I said, I was ridiculed for that post, but I wanted, our people. My point was to make them understand there's a difference. It's just like I think it was earlier this week, that they were saying that Australia and New Zealand is scheduling games with Tonga. I mean, if this was any other team, how they got beat by Tonga, they would schedule other teams. But they already know Tonga is amongst the best right now. So why
should be number one already?
Yeah. Why should they go and practice with somebody else when they can practice with the best? Because the World Cup is coming up, in a few months. I mean, I think that's smart, but to my point, that's what they're doing. our players has to go and play with the best to be among the best.
Among the best.
You know, because they have to learn how the game is going, you know, and especially that mentality thing. Yeah? They have to change that. Man, sitting at the Gaba Bowl or Gaba Circle, talking about a win is a lot better than talking about a big hit. Wow. Anybody can hit anybody. Yeah? But at the end of the night, so who won? Oh, we didn't win, but we hit them. Well, congratulations on the big hit. While Australia and New Zealand enjoying the win. Yeah? But anyways, Fetu'u, your transition to the Utah Warriors. Yeah? Tell me about what you like about Utah. Yeah? And what's keeping you in Utah, man? Especially right now, it's cold as heck out there. I'm here in St. George working.
Pickleball.
Yeah. Man, but I know how cold it is out there, and I'm glad I'm out here. But tell me, what's keeping you out here in Utah? Are you planning to stay, or?
Yeah, me and the wife from Frisco, so she moved out here.
So you're stuck, man.
Yeah, it's for the kids. Utah's a family city.
Orient, yep.
And it's safe out here too.
Yeah.
Just because me and the wife experienced in Frisco, in the Bay itself. So out here, the kids can run freely out here. We can take it to the park and let them run around without having to worry about something else other than them playing in the park. And there's a lot of polys out here. Yeah, I travel all my careers, places I go to, there's hardly polys around, so I enjoy having polys here, and just feel like I'm at home.
I love that.
So being a rugby player, like you said, you do travel all over the world, you know. So what's your experience? Where's the best place that you played at? Because I know you were in Europe for a little bit, in New Zealand. So where's the best place you think that you really like to play, and it was a nice country to be in?
My heart's gonna always be in Tonga for me. I never play a game in Tonga. I play rugby, club rugby in Tonga. But one of my dream is to play in Tonga, so in front of our fans, because our home game is always away game.
Right.
Because we can never go back to Tonga because our stadium's messed up.
Right.
So when we play Fiji, we always play Fiji in Fiji,
In Fiji,
even though it's our home game.
Oh.
We play them there because we got no stadium. When we play Samoa, we play Samoa and Samoa because it's our home game, but we have no choice but to play in Samoa.
Right.
Okay.
For every Tongan Ikalepahi that never played, their dream is to play in Tonga, in front of the fans and in front of our families.
So
And-
what's
and man-
go ahead.
So go ahead.
Go ahead. So
It
what's
meant
the
more to us playing in front of them than anywhere else.
I think that most of the goal is for a lot of the rugby players to play in Tonga in front of the fans. So what's so what's holding Tonga for building a nice facilities so they can host some of these games? I mean, there is funds that Tonga gets for some of these things to, maybe improve the field they have now and make it bigger. I don't know if they can make it bigger or not, but make it to where that it entice other countries to come and play in Tonga. So some of the athletes that played around the world would love to come back and play in Tonga. So,
man, for me, I don't know, to be honest, because Del Faiva is perfect, to be honest. I think they sorted the field in Del Faiva, but I don't know what happened after that. But other than that, I think the Del Faiva doesn't run but the TRU. But the TRU got to do better. They got to sort themselves out first.
sure. Sure.
Yeah, oh man,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Wake up, brother.
uh, it sucks.
Believe me, I know what you mean, Fetu'u, and I don't mean to cut in, but you know, our political sides of things, it's just playing too much. Is that what you're trying not to say? Our politicians.
I do
Well,
know there has been some improvements to the stadium in the last few years, especially when we were preparing for the Pacific Games.
right.
So there was money put in there and some funds. So lately it has been improved around the field with the seating and the turf. And there was some enlargement and improvements, particularly on the stands. That was of concern when engineers came in and they were looking at the stadiums. That, you know, it was at a state where it couldn't hold people safely if they were all packed in for a game. So I do know that has been improved. But like Fetu'u says, you know, we still can do things. There's still room for improvement. We can do things better. And, you know, Del Faiva is a special place, you know, and when the king gave that name, gifted that name, you know, Faiva for us Tongans and our culture is not just a small light thing. Games is a light thing for us, but when, you know, Faiva and when, you know, we could probably put that parallel to when we play elite sports, you know, you go from the state of play, child play, games, and whakamuna, and then you get to elite sports, your Faiva, your what you're doing is malie. You're the best of that type of movement and type of performance. You're performing. So, you know, the king gave that name for that stadium, Del Faiva. You're coming there to perform, and we're coming to watch and see the best of people performing at their best state. So, you know, we all could do better. We all could do better and be a little bit more self-centered, is without saying, you know, too much. We're all responsible. Kamalo apito Fetu'u.
Hano, I think you posted a video about how the World Cup, the World Rugby are not looking after making money out of us poly. Was it you, Hano, or something?
Yeah, it's a documentary called Oceans Apart. I don't know if it's out yet, but it might be coming out soon about
yeah,
you
it's
know,
coming out next week.
Yeah, one thing I got a problem with how the Tongan people said that how all the clubs go into Tonga and take all the talent players and take them overseas back to where they're from, what club. They get some of the comments I don't agree with that is, why would they talk about they complain about outsiders come and pick all the number one players and take it overseas when they don't have a system at home to look after their number one players. That's a job for the TIU to look after the rugby in Tonga, to build a academy or something for the kids to look forward to get them ready. But they don't have that. Why would some of those big people complaining about them, the kids leaving early and going overseas and stuff? When they don't have that system back in Tonga, to keep them in Tonga.
Tonga doesn't have the system to, you know, just to, when the kids coming up, to take care of them. Exactly.
Yeah, because right now they have no other option but to leave. For them to go overseas is good for to help their family too.
Yeah.
Take care of their family. That's what everybody's doing. Is And if those recruiters come to take those kids, they want to go. They want to
Of
leave
course.
because
Yeah,
That's their opportunity, you know.
That's
there's
their
nothing there
opportunity.
to keep
Yeah.
them.
I'm
They
not
all
going to
come
stay
for us,
here
but-
and play for thank
Yeah.
you. I'm going to go make some money.
I think if I was a parent in Tonga and they came and asked for my son, you know, I think I would let him go for,
Yeah.
you know, because of a
I agree.
better opportunity.
Of course.
I'll be
I don't know.
You know, Fetu'u, that's why I cut in. I know he was trying to hold back some tears. What was those tears about?
Being serving our country and answer whenever they call on us to represent our country. But they always
don't take care of you.
take care where they don't know how much we gave up to go and represent the country and to serve our
Your sacrifice to give up.
The sacrifice you give up and you do to and they just downplay. When you turn up, you're supposed to be worried about when you turn up to play for Talanoa, you're supposed to be worried about rugby only. Anything else is their job.
Right.
We don't have to, us senior players show up and have to worry about keeping the team together, and because they're divahe. They don't come through with that side of their promises.
Yeah.
I think about 5 years ago is when I saw that the committee and the representative was already in New Zealand waiting, but the team was in the airport in Fuamotu, waiting for who's going to take them to the game. So, you know, I think the problem, you know, and I'm not going to be ashamed to say this. I represent the Royals side of the government. But back then it was Talanoa and those people that was handling this. And I hated them for this. When they were sitting in hotels in New Zealand or Australia, waiting for the team, and the team in Fuamotu in the airport. Where's my ticket? Where's my ticket to go to the game? But these are the type of things, the dirtiness of our governments, that they need to clean it. Like I said, I love the king, and I speak out. I speak my mind about it. But for this, I tell them, man, you guys were wrong. You did the team wrong. And as much as I hate Chelsea, and I'm sorry I'm saying this, Bohiwa for this, for taking over the rugby thing. But at the same time, I am hoping that Xiaoxi will get rid of some of this that you're talking about, Fetu'u. Because, man, it almost brought me tears when I'm seeing you holding back, because I know exactly how you feel. You know, that since that day, I said, my goodness, man, how the hell? This is like a father getting up. Let's go, son. Let's go watch the game. And he gets on the car and drives and expects his son to catch the bus and come out there. You know, it is just wrong, man, for the committee to make it out there. And you guys, and when the team got there, go find your families, Go find your family here and have them feed you. We'll meet at the game.
Man.
That's just how it was with our team. And I know that's what's choking you up, Fetu'u. And I feel for you, brother. And, you know, like I said, this platform here is we speak our mind, and we let people know where we stand. And to me, I am not ashamed to do it. And I'm proud of you, brother, for speaking your mind. Even though, like before, earlier tonight, your actions spoke for you. You holding back your tears spoke to me and let me know what you were thinking. And I'm behind you 100%. And like I said, I'm hoping Xiaoxi Pohiwa can do and make some kind of difference with our team. Because, man, we need it. our kids have played their heart out and beaten the best out there. Yeah? And man, for us to still fighting over who's got the name, who's got the team, who's got the rights, my goodness, man, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, it's
for
it. Yeah,
for our
it's
country.
embarrassing.
Yes, you know, to sit here and man worrying about things like that when we just beat Britain, Australia, and New Zealand. Yeah? The three top teams that is known to be the best in the league. Yeah? And man, for them to be coming home to a little parade of what they had, and at the same time, man, they were strict with their name. Yeah? Matematoma. I mean, geez. But anyways, sorry, Hano, I know you want to say something to Fetu'u here. Yeah?
Oh man, you know, the first time I met Fetu'u was back in 2010. He talked about it earlier when he played for La Vena Maria. They had the tournament in Hawaii, and I didn't know anything about him. I never heard of him, but I knew the team was coming from New Zealand. And you know me, I'm a big Kiwi guy, so I flew out there just to go watch them. And you know, the talk was about him and Talanoa. You know, Daniela played number 9 for Tonga. So I got to watch him play, and you know, the whole everybody was such in awe of him, and he ended up getting the MVP for the tournament. But how was that experience for you, man, going to Hawaii? Because you guys, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. We had fun out there. But the first time we ever play a game back to back, eh? Normally we play one game this week, then we rest for another like 7 days or 5 days to play the next game. Where in Hawaii we just play a full game or 15 today, tomorrow, like a whole week from Monday to Saturday. So it was crazy, but it was good fun. It was good fun, and it was my first time in Hawaii, and I loved it. It was nice to meet the Gematu brothers too. Man,
they had the money.
Huge.
Man.
Oh man, it was.
That was a good tournament because you guys got good prize for the winners out there though, right?
Oh yes, I think it was 50.
The winning team got a 50,000.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh
yeah.
wow!
I can't remember, but I know you got money for MVP.
Yeah. That was good. They told me that's my vibe.
You should have said the whole 50,000.
Thank you.
The bullet was cool. So the bullet, they all know. They told me, "Oh yeah, that's your vibe." Okay, oh, that's fine. I'm in Hawaii. I'm all good.
Yeah, I've seen all the New Zealand boys, man. They had a lot of fun, man. I know it was the first time for a lot of them to go to Hawaii.
That's what back in South Auckland, man, we got Pollies or Tongans out there, talented, skills players, and just that's our one downfall. Our environment is they hype you up and you haven't made it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So they hype you up and you go, "Oh yeah, I already made it, so I'm good. I don't need to work no more.
Yeah.
I don't need to train, work on what I need to work on now because my surroundings already they hype them up for the wrong reason. Yeah. When they should be, hey, you should go out there, run, work on that. This way, you don't belong here." So,
yeah, you're right.
One of the downfalls we have. Yeah.
You know, you see that a lot too. I mean, you see it here too with the kids that, you know, still playing high school. You know, they're so. I mean, their name is in the paper. They're all over social media. How good they are, and how many tackles they made, and all that stuff. You know, it makes your head swell up a little bit, and for everybody telling you how good you are. Sometimes that goes into a negative effect on a kid. Is they blow your head up. Now you think that you don't have to do anything, you know, you're already good enough that you don't have to go work out and do all the necessary stuff to make you better. Now it's like, well, I can, like you said, the mentality now, well, I just go play the game. I don't have to work out.
Yeah.
But that's
And
the wrong mentality.
Yeah. The funny thing is, the same people that hype you up is the same people who ask you the question there. What happened to the fella?
Wow.
That's the truth too.
It's the couch coach and the couch audience, and couch ref.
Oh, listen, I'm in my hoko.
You hyped him up the wrong time.
Madu, I see Lakers here on you, man. As you can see, Hano's a big Lakers fan. I just don't like the other two teams he's got up there. But
I miss you on that one.
yeah. Man, tell us how you felt that night when we won it. And
oh man, for me, I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm a LeBron James fan.
Oh, sorry about that, man.
So wherever he go, I go. So,
okay.
But I was happy, man. I was happy for LeBron James himself because oh man, he's just he's something else, isn't he?
Yeah,
well, especially with the talk now that he's old, you know. I mean, LeBron, made everybody wrong, made everybody wrong, proved himself. Just like he said, at the end of the game, the Lakers organization, everybody needs their respect. Most of all, I need my dad respect.
Hell yeah.
And to me, I wasn't a big fan of his. I've always been a Lakers fan, big Kobe fan and all that. But, since he came to the Lakers, which I said, about 6-7 years ago, I said, LeBron is going to be a Laker. Everybody's telling, yeah, right, you crazy. But look where he's at now. But, to me, I think LeBron will win a couple more, especially when they just signed AD today, right?
Yeah, they got a stacked team now.
Yeah.
They're younger now. They're no longer old.
195, 185 million.
Oh my goodness, huh? Hey,
we're talking about age.
Speaking of
when
money,
do you think you're retiring, Fetu'u?
Oh, go ahead, go.
The World Cup in 23.
Oh no, I don't think I can.
You could be a rugby LeBron, go in there.
I wish. For me, I was done back 2016. After World Cup, I was done. I didn't want to say goodbye to my little family anymore because my daughter got older, and back then it was all right for the players to just get up and leave. And my girls and the more it just got harder and harder by the time. Then I just I'm gonna make this the last one. It was hard for me to leave her behind, and I can't just get up and pack my bag and say goodbye. November, then come summer, and say goodbye to her and go and play for Tonga again. So I had to hang it up on her behalf. And
okay.
But like your other experiences, Fetu'u, what if you get that phone call? What if you get that phone call?
Oh, if I get that phone call, I have to talk to the boss about that one.
You might have to pack up the whole family and go.
I don't know if the wife let me play again, so I'll wait and see. If I ever get that call again, I have to talk to her first.
And just tell her it's not that far. I think it's proposed at France, so France and America is not too far apart.
Yeah, it's not far at all. Just it depends if I think it's 13 hours you get here.
Yeah.
Not going back to Tonga, so I think it's 30 hours or more.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's well worth the trip though, man.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm just more focused right now on helping young players or players that want to improve their rugby. I work with, right now, just doing a one-on-one coaching right now with just some of the players in Utah. And I also talk to people that I also go around club rugby and just watch the people that I think that they can do better. And on the next level, I help them I asked them if they want to work with me, want my help to get them there. But other than that, I enjoy that part now, coaching and helping upcoming players.
Develop younger kids. Now, is there like a training facilities for some of these kids to, to train like yourself? I mean, is there a place that some of these kids can come and find out, or you can learn if they want to learn about rugby? I know there's rugby all over here. I mean, I know there's leagues out here in San Francisco, and I think one of my cousins running they're starting with the kids at like 10 years old now out here.
Yeah.
Or younger.
Or younger.
Back in New Zealand, that's the life. You gotta start from I think it's under 8. Under 8 upward. That's why rugby is. That's why New Zealand is the best rugby team in the world. Because every Saturday, everywhere you
It's
go,
even younger now.
Oh, serious?
Wow.
It's even younger now. It's you can go as young as Ripper under 5s.
Yeah.
Rugby
Oh, they
is
don't do
under
contact
6.
till like under 10, isn't it?
Yeah, so they're getting younger and younger, and it's no wonder you're getting superstars at the age of 16.
Yeah.
Because they started conditioning at a high level of athleticism at 10.
Right.
Well, the development stages, the window is narrowing. You know what I mean? I mean, when they get to 25, 26, they're considered old. Eh?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's good. I mean, Jonah was what, at 19 when he made the All Blacks? Eh? I think that's the
25,
goal.
26, you're still young.
Yeah.
30 is the new 20s now.
Why, you just did you
The
just turn
30s.
30?
Yeah. The 30s.
Yeah, the one thing, one thing, my experience with the Ikaletahi, man, they really bring you down to earth, huh? All teams, the culture that we have in the Ikaletahi, you can never find it elsewhere. The brotherhood that we have, we turn up. There's no training gears. We don't have no training gears ready for us. Most of the tour we get one of the tour that a couple of them, most of them, that we go without training gears. So we might collect them towards the end.
Yeah.
I remember back in we went to Japan. We got told that when we get there, all our training gears will be ready for us. None of the players took any training gears with us. So we turned up, there was none of those. There was no training gears around. So we were in Kapota. We had a brother named Soaks, Orlando Sokai. We had to run to him. Hey, Soaks, you ask your team, ask some of the players to provide us with some training gears so we can wear it to training.
Wow.
And when it comes to captain one, we should be wearing the day before the game, the media's there. We should be wearing our Tongan
red and white, eh?
Yeah. But we turn up, everybody, because everybody outside of America is a big NBA fan. They're into the NBA and the NFL.
Right.
So all we had was our singlet, NBA jersey. So Nili Latu back then, they interviewed Nili Latu while we're running around doing our captain run on the field and goes, "Oh, what happened to your uniform?" Man, he just turned around going, "Nah, it's a Mufti Day. We can wear our favorite NBA team."
Oh
captain
my
run.
God.
That's awesome.
So that's one of the struggle that we have to deal with when we go into the Ikaletahi.
I can see how something like that, like those humbling experiences can bring you guys closer together, huh?
Because when you go to your clubs and they got everything ready for you.
Yeah.
You have 2 training jerseys. You have gym shorts, like field training shorts. They have socks, ankle socks. They have everything you need. and you go to Tonga, you'd be lucky to get some.
No, but I think that's the big downfall of it, is that you guys are already playing out there in the world, that you're getting treated with very well. You get everything that handed to you. They do everything for you. All you need to do is play the game. That's what the organization does, is that they do everything for you, even wash your clothes, have everything ready for you. All you need to do is put on the uniform and go on that field and play the game. So
supposedly, Tim, I think so.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like that. With the club rugby and other professional international teams, all you need to bring is for the club, all you need to bring your rugby boots, your game boots, your training boots.
Okay.
That's all. I don't know about other team, they got stacked, they got sponsors.
Yeah.
They turn up with nothing, they got everything ready from the head to toes, game boots and stuff. But with us Tongan, our last sponsors was pretty good because they provide rugby boots, they provide training gears for us. But because I'm good friend with the guy that sponsored us last time, Musino. So all he needed from the TIU is provide them with the team list and what sites early, 8 weeks or even 12 weeks before the comp start, before everybody turn up to camp. But they can't even do that. They waited like 3-4 weeks before everybody turns up to send in the team list and the size and everything.
Wow. Jeez.
That's why they struggle to provide for the Igaletahi, because they're happy to provide for the Igaletahi, but then that it's just TIU is not ready to provide the list for them to get everything sorted for us before we turn up. That was
But you guys are
communication
giving
was
up.
the downfall.
You guys are giving up a lot to go play for Tonga, because there's a lot of guys that are leaving money on the table for them from their contract to go and play for Tonga. I mean, if this,
We lose
I mean,
money too. We had to pay for our own flight to go there.
Oh, wow.
the government, oh my goodness. So,
That is just
so
sad.
is that the reason why? I mean, the Tongan player still wants to go back and play for Tonga. With all this is happening, everything is happening, and they're not getting this, not getting that. But when it times to come to put a team together for Tonga, these players still goes back to play, leaving money on the table. What's the reason?
It's for the love of the game and for our country too. It's for our country and our family.
Okay.
One of the biggest the job that we do well, some of the senior players, is looking after the newcomers, the new players coming in, is to tell them, don't expect this from this. Don't expect to get any kids. Don't expect to and trying to keep everyone positive around us.
Jeez.
Even though they promise us this, but they never come through with it. So we have our job, as part of our job, or some of the job, is to keep them happiest, keep them at a positive state of mind.
Yeah.
Tell them straight up what to expect from the Tongan Igaletahi before they show up, or even on our first meeting.
Wow.
It's
Is that
sad.
just a lack of communication, or lack of what? I mean, you're
That's
talking
the-
about professional coming back to Tonga to represent Tonga.
It's a lack of sharing the kapanako.
And that too.
Yeah.
It's just some people. TIU is a business.
It's a
If you
business.
don't
Yeah.
have a business state of mind to run the TIU, then you don't belong in the TIU. You don't belong there. You gotta get someone not money hungry or have a business state of mind
State of mind.
to run the TRU. Right now, where can you find Igaletahi jersey?
You know, I used to work for a billionaire who owned a company here in Utah called Leighton Construction. Yeah? Anyways, his philosophy was Dave Leighton ain't nothing without the Leighton Construction. Yeah? The people, us. Without you, I ain't nothing is what he says. Yeah?
Yeah.
So he brought himself down to us. Yeah. I mean, every summer, every 3 months, he had something going for us. Yeah? I mean, it seemed very little. Get hot dog and hamburger, and they give out a few prizes here and there. And we play golf. But it's those little things that makes us want to go and work.
Work for them. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you love the environment that he has built. Yeah? But my point is, if our leaders of TRU is here and the team is way down here, they're never going to meet. Eh? These guys have to bring themselves down and come up together with the team. That's the only way we're going to do it. If they're going to sit up there like the Sir Almighty, and the team is supposed to be scrounging for themselves down here, they're never going to meet. Like I said, they have to come down here, wrap themselves around the team, and climb the ladder together. Because that's the only way they're going to do it. Because, you know, like I said, I worked for this guy, and we all loved him. Man, but as soon as he died, his son took over, and everybody's booting out. Because we all know someday, you know, we're going to get the call, hey, sorry, we don't need your services no more. But that's just the reality of life. The reality of life is seek out your opportunities, get it while it's there. You know, it's funny to hear Fetu'u saying, you know, 30 is young. Well, I heard Tim the other day or a few weeks ago saying, what's considered old in the NFL, Tim?
Well, if you look at it this way, the lifespan of an NFL running back is only 3 years.
Wow.
If you play longer than that, you're lucky. You have to play that. Lifespan of an offensive line, maybe 5 years. So, and most of them, after 1 or 2 years, they're out.
Okay, so let's say 18 years old, you're out of high school, into college. 18, 19, 20, 21. You're going to the NFL. So you're saying by the age of 25, 26,
yeah,
if you're not good enough, you're done.
You're not good enough, you're
old,
done. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sad, how,
sad.
you know, these kids have been playing since 7, 8 years old.
Yep.
And to get to their final destination, man, and they know they have either grind and do this, or I'm back home yapping with my dad.
Yeah. See, a lot of these kids get into the NFL. I mean, the NFL is top of the line. You get there, you don't do anything. All you need to do is study your playbook, go out there on the field, and practice and learn your plays. That's all they want. They want you to be involved in football. They don't want you to even take care of anything else. They do everything for you. Feed you, they feed you, and they feed you there. There's a doctor there, there's a masseuse there, there's whatever you want. Whatever you want, they give you all the shoes you want, whatever shoes. You wear a shoe today for practice and it doesn't it hurts your feet, you go back in there and say, oh, this one doesn't work, give me another pair.
No way.
Yeah.
Spoiled, huh?
Must be
Yeah,
nice.
I mean, we are spoiled. The NFL is spoiled. And plus, you know, you get paid every week for, you know, the guys are making millions, they're getting millions of dollars every week. But besides that, I mean, that's what the kids are in the NFL. I mean, they live pretty good, but that's all they want you to do. So You don't perform, you're out the door. You come in, you don't perform, and you have mental mistakes on the field. That's the big no-no. You know, we watch films every day. You go to work. It's during football season. You're there at 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock at night. You're there. So you eat there. They feed you there. They have everything there. So when you get out of football,
Fetu'u, with your just listening to you, I think you'd make one hell of a coach for our kids. Perhaps take the Warriors up to the next level. What's your philosophy if you get into coaching? Hearing this former NFL great, Talanoa, with his insights and the things that's going on in the NFL, how would you take that? What's your philosophy into coaching in the
It's
future?
the same as rugby. NFL is the same as rugby, but the rugby is more chill than the NFL. First thing, if I become a coach, is build a relationship with my players, earn their trust. Then just make sure they understand. The main thing is understand the game plan, offense and defense. If we all on the same boat, if everybody buy into, no matter how good the system is, if nobody buy into it, then it's a waste of time.
Right.
If you have a no good system and everybody buy into it, they make it look better than
What the coach drew out.
with the coach. Yeah. So that's the main thing, is earn everybody's respect and their trust, and work. Make sure you study what type of player they are. You can't just force everything into that, because every players learn differently. Some people you gotta show them, and some people they're good at just drawing them on the board, on the whiteboard, and they go ahead and run it. You gotta understand your players too, so and make the environment fun.
Yeah.
Because they come to fun the right way by them learning the moves, learning the game plan, and make sure they enjoy it while they learn it at the same time.
You know, I coached kids for the longest time. I dedicated my life into bringing our kids up. So I coached from 8 years old and go all the way up till they're 14. Then I go up with them to high school. And, you know, to me, some of the mistakes that some of these coaches made was, you know, trying to buy the kids love. I mean, to me, if you want respect, win. If you want the team's respect, you got to win. Because no matter what, after 2-3 years of losing, you ain't got no respect from nobody at all. And we're seeing it in the leagues out here, whether it's rugby or football, NBA, baseball, it's the same thing. It's like you said, you bring your philosophy and your playbook, and the team don't buy into it and don't execute it, you're out the door. They're going to bring the next guy who can do that. And, you know, I would encourage you to, if you're a coaching player right now, pursue it, man, because you have a lot. You have a lot to offer the kids, especially kids in Utah. Growing up in football, they have that mentality. But it's you can make that transition, especially without Tongans.
Yeah,
Oh,
I agree.
Don't let them go play rugby before they get hurt for football. Like this is to me what they're saying. I used to hear them.
Yeah.
You know, when I used to go, I would go and ask for a certain kid to the parents. You know, bring your kid. You know, he can be a great player. Oh, we don't want him to play rugby. We just want him to play football.
Yeah, that's most of the excuses they have now. Because I coach, I used to work with two young players from Salt Lake City.
Mhm.
They're good players, but they're they train football in the afternoon, so they rather train in the morning. But then with the newborn, I can't get up early. I have to stay home with the newborn
Right.
and help out at home. So I asked them if the evening is better for them. They go, nah, they got football training in the evening, so we can't make it. So it's like end up giving up on them because our time different time. I'm available in the evening, but they're available in the morning, so it can't work out. And most of the players I coach and help train is the same, not excuses, but they rather focus in football.
Right. You're right. Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah. I mean, to me, I had two boys. Well, I have two boys. Yeah? And I had them playing in everything. My younger son played rugby for a little bit, but I always wanted them to play. But they just never had the love for the rugby. Yeah? Because we didn't have the little leagues rugby that we have now, back in their days. But I would love and encourage the parents. This is another opportunity for them to go and get more, acclimated into the sports. Because
you also can go see the world.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many countries did you go to, Tim, in the NFL? Did you guys ever go out?
Yeah, we played in London in 1988. Yeah, that's the only place I went to was London.
Wow.
1988. We played the Eagles. Lake Muli was there too. Lake and Steve Galfusi.
Right.
So that's the only, yeah.
If you play rugby, you get to see more of the world, eh?
That's right.
I agree.
That's right.
That compensates the millions that
Yeah.
you're missing out from NFL.
Yeah.
Wow, let me weigh that right now. Millions and see the world. When you make the millions, you see the world no matter what.
Yep, after.
Yeah.
Man, but Fetu'u, we love having you here. Like I said, man, if I were to have a son or a grandson, to have somebody to emulate, man, I would point them at you. Because I've heard and talked with so many athletes. Yeah? A lot of them have just said, the things, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. Yeah? But for you to say, man, I'm not ready. Here's the coaches. Man. Congratulations, man. Come on over. No, coach, I'm not ready. Yeah? That tells me that you have the heart for the sport and the love for the country that you displayed here tonight. Yeah? And I'm so grateful. But Hano, I know this is your boy. This is who you brought. Yeah? We have an assignment where we find somebody. Yeah? When Hano came to me about you, I'm saying, man, we're going to keep having hateful people, man. They're going to think this is a hateful thing. Yeah? But I'm glad you came out and said, hey, I'm from Halalo. Yeah? My brother who just died a few weeks ago, his name was Pipo Halalo. So we have a little bit of the name. My middle name is Mabaka is from Halalo. Yeah? So we have some blood out there. But like I said, the Vainikolo is, to me, is a Kolo Vai name. Yeah? So maybe you ought to dig into your roots. Maybe we related somewhere in there. But I wanted to ask you about my nephew. My nephew, who we share the same name. He played on the nephew? Yes. His dad and I are first cousins. But what did you think of him? I mean, man, he's got the body for the game, but what do you? Hello, don't. I hope you're not watching though, man. Go ahead.
I'll take him out there. But, no, Holo's the top player. Holo, hey, he's a good player. Holo. I don't know what to say, but I rate him. He's got I rate Hall. Good player. He's also a good dude, a good friend of mine off the field. So
Yeah.
I always give it to him off the field. So
So how's things looking like, for the team? And I know this COVID, when it hit, he stuck around in Utah for a little bit, and all of a sudden I hear that he has to move back to San Francisco.
yeah.
When you guys come back, I mean, is he coming back? Because if he is, man, I'm out there going to watch you guys games.
Oh, I don't think Hollow's coming back. I'm no longer involved anymore. I had to sit out and talk to the wife and see what's next for me. But right now I'm just focusing on coaching and coaching young players. And I'm also involved with the rugby club out here. I'm a player coach at the Spartan out here. So yeah, and I also just got off the All-Star team. I was helping out. I was also a player coach there at the All-Star. So I'm getting involved with rugby just to give back and help players.
Of course. If there's one place I would recommend for you guys to go and coach, I mean, nobody wants to come out to West Valley. Yeah.
That's where the Spartan is.
But, there is so much talent there. Highland was so high and mighty back then, Highland High School. Yeah? They went and beat everybody in the world. They were the world champions. When they came back, we wrapped the team together and went and played them. And my goodness, Fakutahi, we had all these players in there, Joe Lomo and all of them. I mean, our kids ran all over them. After the game, they came and said, by the way, this game don't count. I forgot his name, Larry something was their head coach. But yeah, when he came and said, this game don't count, like, what do you mean it don't count? The whole world knows. We're sending it out. But if I would recommend anybody, man, West Valley, they have the talent. That's where the most Tongans are, the most Samoans are. Yeah? And man, like I said, East High School football team is the way they are because of the West Valley kids. Bingham High School is the way they are because of the West Valley kids. I mean, you name it. Our kids are all over. We just need a coach to come and, and help to bring the kids. We have a Samoan coach out there, which I love, that he's coaching the Granger High School football team. Man, but he's struggling because our kids are still out at Bingham. They're still out at East. They're all over.
He's also got a good rugby team.
Yes, they do.
Full of polys.
Yeah. Anyways, it's 9. We've been on for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know. I know your kids probably waiting for their dinner. To do what? Anyways,
fasting today.
We'll turn the time over to Tim, and we'll go from there.
No, we are. We're just glad to have you on tonight, and our conversation is really good. And we touched on some points that we, just needed to get some information on how things go with the, we were first rugby guy that we talked to about how things are going with you and how things are going in Tonga, why players wants to play for Tonga, because they love the game and they want to play for their own country. Despite what's going on with rugby, but they love their own country that they want to play for Tonga. And we appreciate you coming on tonight, man. We've learned a lot about you tonight, and you've answered some great questions for us. So that's all I need. I got to say thank you for our panel here, Bill and Carlo and Hano. Thank you for all that you do for this page. So, you can close it out, Bill or Hano or Carlo. thank you for coming on, Fetu'u. We appreciate you. Congratulations with the newborn and the wife, and stay safe with this coronavirus. It's getting worse and worse here in the United States.
Oh man. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you very much, Fetu'u. Ofaatu kia koe me family.
Afatu, you guys stay safe out there.
Yeah, off out, bro. Thanks for coming on, man.
Malo.
No worries, man.
I know you want to say more than that. Yeah? So your audience, yeah? You're gonna be coming on. What would you want to say to them? Yeah?
Just for me, for those that are willing to become professional players in whatever sports, just make sure you focus in school first, so you always have something so you don't to fall back on. So, and also have other hobby than just focus on rugby, or just focus in whatever sport you're going for. Just so you don't get disappointed in whatever. Whenever you don't reach your goal, you always have something to fall back on, and also have faith in God, and no matter what the outcome in life.
Malo.
Love that.
Malo. Thank you.
Well, thank you again, Fetu'u, man. Listen, we're doing a Christmas special for our boy here, Tim. Yeah? On Christmas Eve, by the way. We'd love for you to join in and just make this a special night for him. Man. We appreciate you. And like I said, man, I love everything about you. Man. Don't give up, brother. Just keep on going. Yeah? Fetu'u Vainikolo. He's a coach at, I think it's Leighton Academy. It's a private school, a rich school at that.
Yeah.
But I know he's coaching up there, their little rugby, their high school rugby team. Yeah?
Oh, Dongia?
Yeah, Talanoa.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I know Dongia.
See if you can go help him out, man, because I know he needs a lot of help. Man, if I wasn't out here, I'd be out there helping him.
Okay.
Yeah? So, anyways, big shout out to
you. Can I bring up one last? Since you was talking about school earlier, back in 2016, I was part of a crew that went on a mission to Tonga, and one of the villages we stopped off at was Halalo. We were supplying school supplies to all the schools, and a couple of people in the crew asked if we could go by Halalo, and I asked them why, and they said, "Oh, Fetu'u funded school supplies for Halalo." So we ended up going there and giving school supplies to Halalo GPS on his behalf. So that was, that was great for him to give back to his school, So I just wanted to put that out there.
Nice.
And back to the community.
Nice.
No, I remember when you guys did that. I know a few people were doing live videos from there.
Yeah.
And thank you for that. Anyways, everybody, next week, don't forget to tune in. We have our former player, Fetu'u. He'll be on next week with his son, who is playing for Japan right now. Tonga, you guys are missing out, man. This nephew of mine, Damien, is rocking the world out there in Japan. So anyways, join us next week at the same time. Well, we haven't determined a time on that. We'll probably go New Zealand time, or because they're in Japan. So we'll let you guys know on the time, but tune in, guys, next week. Don't miss that program. It's going to be a great one. Fetu'u, we love you, and we cheering for you, brother.
Thank you.
Keep on going. Thank
Good
you,
luck,
guys.
Fetu'u. Good luck, Fetu'u.
Thank you. Afatu.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ofaatu.
Afatu.
So,
Thank you, Carlo.
Sorry, guys.